Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining our time. This is not actually the 18th session. I apologize. This is a screenshot from the last batch of A2 where we were doing 24 sessions. This batch we are doing only 12 sessions. So this is the actually the 11th session, not the 18th session. But the agenda is clear. So we will be doing practice today, and we will practice writing sentences using conjunctions. So this is A2, guys, not A1 anymore. So in A1 you learn to write simple sentences, and you learn to in A1 also you learn conjunctions like und, adu, so aber, den, und, sondern, oder. And then now in A2 sessions you have learned a few more conjunctions where the sentence structure changes, right? So we will try to practice writing statements, yes or no questions, W word kind of questions using conjunctions. Before we do that, let's do a very quick recap of all the conjunctions that you should know. Uh, Technically, I know. So this slide is from B1. So let me just share this with you. So you can see this slide, right? I hope. Let me know if you can see the new slide. Thumbs up, maybe.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, you can see, right? So this slide is actually from B1. So here you see that in this boxes, I have you can see a lot of conjunctions. Now, if your question is, are you supposed to know all of these? My answer will be not really. You're not supposed to know all of these conjunctions in A2. But guys, these sessions are not meant to prepare. I mean, they are meant to help you in preparing for exam. But what the focus is that you can start using the conjunctions, and you never you cannot say that, okay, I am in A2, I will not use this conjunction, right? Real life, you have to say what you want to say. So it's good that you can learn all the conjunctions in A2 as well. The the conjunctions from B1 level as well. So let's very quickly go through all of these conjunctions, and my request from you will be is that you read, for example, aber, den, und, and you give me the meaning, or you can give me a sentence with them. So whoever wants to read can start. And we'll don't try to focus. I think we have seen this slide before. I have divided them into three lists. We'll talk about this, but for now, I just want you to read all the conjunctions and give me the meaning, or maybe give me a sentence with the conjunction. Okay, guys, please don't. The session ends after 1 hour, so we don't have
Yeah,
the.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So there are three types of conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions are aber. Aber means but. Then, because, and, sondern, sometimes in spite of, or
Not in spite of. Sondern means something else. It's but not exactly. But it's instead or
yeah.
rather.
Okay, instead or rather.
Yeah.
Oder is or. Doc, maybe like also.
Doc is kind of it's a conjunction. I mean, doc also, you can it can also be, for example, in English, if it's a yes or no kind of, in English, if it's a yes or no kind of question, you can either say yes or no. In German, you can say yes, no, or doc. But
Okay.
but here doc has a different meaning. Doc, let me tell you. Uh, okay, let's ignore doc for now because it's ignore doc. Okay, continue.
Edak,
Ignore ye dog as well. Align, ignore the last three. Okay.
okay.
We can move on to subordinating conjunctions.
Subordinating conjunctions before, it's like before,
Yes.
then after that, or mid, I guess.
After.
After, after with, or thereafter, sorry. Bis is still, seit or seitdem is since, während, while, when,
Pronounce correctly. Vain, not when.
when,
Vain.
okay, yeah,
Who's
when,
vain? Yeah.
uh, 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 when is, I think, if,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
wann is when,
Yeah.
ob,
One is when. Yeah.
mm, I don't remember this ob exactly.
Think of yes or no kind of question.
Yeah, I think whether or if.
Right. More. I mean, more accurately, it's whether. You can kind of So it helps you ask a question, but not exactly a question, or we can, for example, you can ask hey boss, weißt du, ob ich das oder das mache? You know,
Yeah.
whether
Okay.
this or that. Yeah, but it's not a question; it's a full stop after that. It lets you ask a question in the form of a statement.
Yeah. Okay. Else, as or of.
No, so it's a conjunct. You are right, but every word can have many meanings, right? Here, als is think of in relation with uh, als and vein, something like think of that. So sometimes you can use vein, sometimes you can use als, but
Okay. So it can be when or
not interchangeably. For example, when I was 5 years old, I went. So when you are talking about like once in a lifetime event, then you should not
mm,
use vein. You should use als.
okay.
As I finished my master's degree again in now here, or when I finished my master's degree, it's one time lifetime events, or like for example, you can do also two some people, I have a friend who did two masters, but I mean even then she has to say als ich meinen zweiten Master abgeschlossen habe. Continue please.
Okay. So thus, so that, thus, that, while, because, thus,
I
that,
think it's a mistake, just
Zobald.
repeat it twice. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Zobald, um,
What is bald?
um, Bisbald.
Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say I'm going out with a friend and I tell her that, and then and then we have met and it's almost like 8 p.m. and I tell my friend, "Ruf mich an, sobald du zu Hause bist."
Maybe, uh, excuse me for this moment.
No, no, I'm telling her that okay, I mean, I'm concerned. I just want to make sure that she reaches home on time, and I'm telling her, "Du solltest mich anrufen, sobald du zu Hause bist." Or let's say you go back to your let's say you are going somewhere and yeah,
Okay,
and
okay, I got it. I guess immediately.
not
Uh,
immediately, as soon as
okay.
so
I
it's
think
already as
Rishi
soon
may
as you are
be
home. Yeah.
talking in the middle.
Sorry, I was not good with my mic. Sorry. I was saying for Zobald, soon or as soon as
Yeah.
it may mean.
Yeah. So yeah, continue please. You can continue
So
from here,
long.
or you can continue
Yeah.
on that, no problem. Yeah.
Let us go with Rishi.
Okay.
Passing the ball. So long, as long
No, no,
as
no, Rishi, be careful. This is real.
obwohl,
No, no, wait. You have to pronounce the. Okay, don't try to. My teacher would say you are eating the words. So lange, not so lang. So lange. Once you are at C2 level,
so
once
long,
you can play here and there. For example, like where I live right now, I don't say thus, I say that. I don't say was, I say what. If I have to say what is this, I will say what is that. Again, I say this because because I have that much experience. So in the beginning, say the entire word. I hope you don't mind. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah, that's nice. So long means as long as
Yes,
obwohl, um,
you should know
even
that.
if something like
Although,
that.
yeah, or like
Yeah, I should know this. I have
you have
studied it
to
at least
from a
four
wall
times,
inside
but
is
every
our
time I
problem.
forget.
Sorry?
It's sorry, I couldn't hear you well.
So I guess, I mean, so it's always good to think of an example, right? Like in exam, I don't think anybody is going to ask you like, what is Zotas? They're always looking for examples. So I just gave you an example, right? So I had to give you an example with for Zobald, Ruf mich an, sobald du zu Hause bist. Then obwohl will be, sie hat mich nicht angerufen, obwohl ich sie ihr das gesagt habe. She did not call me even though I had asked her to call me, you know. Or solange, du darfst in Deutschland bleiben, solange du ein Visum hast. You can stay in Germany as long as you have a visa, right? Nice. Continue, please, Damit.
Damit means so that.
So that it can mean many
So
things.
that.
Uh, let's ignore Damit for now. It can mean many things. It can
Yeah,
mean with that.
between sentences it means so that.
Yes, so that.
If
Yeah.
if followed by a noun Uh, if followed by some object, it means with that, or
Yeah,
if not
don't.
followed as well. Yeah.
Mm. It's always good. You can, if you can give me examples that will help me understand more what you're trying to say.
Uh,
You don't have to. You can just say no.
ich lerne Deutsch. Äh, damit ich damit
Ich ein besseres Gehalt bekomme. Yeah.
ja, ja,
Damit, so here, I mean, so of course it means so that, but here you are giving a reason, right? So thus does not always give a reason, right? Thus, ich habe gesagt, dass du das machen sollst, I said that you should do this. Now here, if I use damit
right.
instead of thus, it will not be accurate. So even though literally they both mean same, but context is important, right? What I'm saying, Rishi?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I understand that.
yeah. Please continue.
Conjunctional
No,
adverbial,
okay. Read conjunctional adverbian.
conjunctional
You don't need to
adverbial.
know them. I mean, I don't. No one is expecting you to, know these what they are called. But these are kind of like they are conjunctions, but they are also adverbs. So
Okay.
yeah, continue.
Sonst.
Come on, you should know this.
No, no idea. Keine Ahnung.
Okay. Do you know Vanda what Johns means? You're muted.
Sonst,
Uh, let's take the same example. I say, ruf mich an, sobald du zu Hause bist, sonst rufe ich dich an. Otherwise,
okay.
okay,
Okay.
continue.
Otherwise. Deshalb uh, for that or because of that.
You can use Leo. Leo will give you many meanings. You should always think of deshalb, daher, deswegen, darum as because. What is important is that you learn to use them. So what I'm trying is that, just try to say different things and then you will learn. So for example, if you really want to know what is the hair, so the hair is made up of da and hair is always hair. For example, herstellung, herkommt. Herstellung means production. Herkommt means origins. So hair is something like origin. So the hair can be you're giving the origin or the reason for something that is coming after the hair. Use what I'm trying to say is that don't learn the literal meanings. Just think of all of them as because. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. But for example, the
because
next one like aus diesem Grund, this you should know like due to this reason or because of this reason.
yes. Daher deswegen darum deshalb mean because of aus diesem Grund on this basis or because of this allerdings uh,
Come on, if you don't know this, it's not good.
allerdings
It's very easy.
no, no.
Ich habe dich gesagt, dass du musst mir anrufen. Allerdings hast du aber nicht. Allerdings hast du nicht angerufen. It's something like
Otherwise,
but. It's something like but it's not exactly but. You can interchange. So wherever you are using allerdings, you can use aber, but not everywhere where you are using aber, you can use allerdings. Again, it depends on
okay,
the context when it is
similar
given.
to still in English,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Again, I will not.
still und trotzdem.
It's not exactly, but just think of it as but for now. And you can use here and there. What I'm saying, the intention of this because you cannot learn everything in 12 hours. But what I'm saying is that intention is that you have heard of these things, that these conjunctions exist, and now you have to pay attention to every German conversations that is happening around you. What your boss is saying, what people are saying in the meetings, what you hear on in train announcements, wherever movies you watch, then you will know, okay, why did this, and at some point your brain knows intuitively, okay, here I have to use allerdings, here I have to use aber. Okay, continue please. Außerdem means, and you come on, außerdem.
Also, them in addition to that, or otherwise, uh,
Außerdem
in
is
addition to
something like
that.
in addition to that or moreover,
Yeah, moreover,
yes.
auch
Auch is not
also.
conjunction, but sometimes. Okay, ignore auch here. Continue trotzdem. Yeah,
Throws them in spite of.
in spite of, right? Now, what you have to remember, again, one thing is that, the first thing that you should do is you should, I again, you can mug up, but you should try to today or tomorrow try to write one sentence with, with each conjunction. Okay, and next thing you should do is, you should remember these conjunctions, and after that you should be very careful with the grammar. It's fine if you don't, if so they are, I have segregated them into three separate lists because, because I'm trying to also help you learn, so I have to tell you that there is difference in grammar, but in real life, as long as, the first thing is to say something, and say it as correctly as you can, then then you can focus on the grammar, and grammar is not that difficult. So in the first list there is nothing changed. For example, if you want to say ich will Deutsch lernen, and then if you want to add the conjunction before it, there is no change in the grammar, the sentence structure still remains the same. But if you use one of these conjunctions, what will happen is that the conjugated verb has to leave its position. It is normally at the second position. It will no more be here. It has to go over here at the last position. Okay, at the very last. What happens over here? The verb remains where it is. You can think of it as that the verb remains where it is and the subject has to go after it. Or you can think of better way to think of this as that this verb, conjugated verb, not the verb, the conjugated verb will be at the first position. Okay, when I say first position, it is the immediate position after the thought same, after the conjunction. Okay, so here no change. Here conjugated verb has to go to the last position. Here conjugated verb is at the first position. Again, conjugated verb last position, conjugated verb first position. Here no change. Okay,
Yeah.
let's, any questions over here? Okay, no questions, then we can do the exercise. Okay, just so these are called as the red ones, they are called as temporal Nebensätze, because so they, you can use them, the Nebensatz subordinate clause will be describing some kind of time factor. You can say before 6 Uhr, bis 6 Uhr, seit 6 Uhr, während, they are describing, kind of a time factor. Okay, so
Yeah.
other ones don't do that. Again, no one is going to ask, like which ones are temporal Nebensätze. Maybe if you decide to become a German teacher, they will ask you. I don't know, but you don't need to know this. Okay, but I should mention this so that I have mentioned it. Let's continue with the exercise. So, guys, we have, I believe, 10 sentences, and I don't think we'll cover all of them depending on how quick you answer. And sometimes you'll be thinking, right, Rohit, you come up with sentences, and we have never seen them, right? So of course, I don't expect you to remember all of, know all the meanings. What I'm trying to say is that these sentences, I have. So for example, the next, all the 10 sentences, they are part of a visa. Whenever you apply for visa application or wherever, you can see, you will encounter these sentences. So they are part. They have been a part of my life. You should think of, you should write sentences from your life and think how you can say them in German, right? One last time, let's cover this coordinating conjunctions and the other one. Coordinating conjunctions. Think of this as, aduso. Aduso, I think you know this, right? This is kind of like, how do you say this? Like, a way to remember. So aduso is aber, den, de, den, u, adu, so und, then se, sondern, o, oder. So a, de, u, s, o, aduso. With this, there is no change. There is no change in the grammar structure, so nothing happens. So if you just have a normal, normal verb, so subject, verb, object, or adjective, and if you have like, you're using a modal verb, subject, modal verb, and the actual verb at the last position, infinitive format. This one has to be conjugated. And what if you're using not a normal verb, you're using a trennbare verb, there is no change. So you train bar verb without prefix has to be conjugated, and the prefix has to go at the last position. But if you know in this here in this scenario you had a modal verb and a normal verb. Now if you use a modal verb and a train bar verb, it's even simpler. So modal verb conjugated, you have to conjugate, and the train bar verb you just write all of it together in infinitive format. And with the subordinating conjunctions, the second list, all that happens is that the verb which is conjugated has to be at the last position, last position, last position, last position, last position. Okay. All right, let's start. How do I say these things, guys, in German? It's very easy.
Fill out is ausfüllen.
Try to say it correctly. You said ausfüllen. It's not, it's something else. You gave the correct.
Ausfüllen.
One more time, please.
Ausfüllen.
Yeah, ausfüllen. Okay. Last time I had ausfüllen and train bar
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
What was
and
it?
yeah,
Like, du musst uh, the form.
you can do it. You can mix English and German, and then I will help you with the German words wherever or you can help each other. So, du musst, das, you can just say the form.
Okay. Du musst das Form ausfüllen, ausfüllen und die necessary Dokumente submit is erreichen.
Not exactly. I mean, erration is something kind of like reach. For example, no, I know where you're coming from, like where this thought is coming from, that summit is erration, but here it is not correct.
Okay.
Erration is something kind of like a reach. For example, if you're trying to call me and I'm not reachable, you'll say, ich kann Rohit nicht erreichen.
Okay.
Yeah. So what else? Rishi? Okay. We have discussed this multiple times, how to say summit. I also gave the example,
Einreichen.
sorry.
Einreichen.
Einreichen is one verb. Also, you can say that, but even, we discussed this. For example, geben, right? So geben,
Yeah.
if you add, so geben, I also I added, posted in the group, where there are different ways to use geben, right? Abgeben. Remember
Yeah.
abgeben,
Yeah.
right? So you can just say
Yeah.
abgeben, right? Go through the material, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, now please say the entire sentence.
Du musst das Formular ausfüllen und die.
Okay, let's say if the German word itself for necessary is necessary. Okay, accepted. But here it's an adjective, right? So you need to use the correct adjective ending. Please give me answer. It's the easiest that you can answer today. What will be the adjective ending for documents?
Dokumente.
No, 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 no. No. Adjective ending for what I'm trying to say is that.
Yeah, I understand the document. So it is like,
So here you have, yeah. So if you understood, then you should tell me exactly. So here you have documents, and here you have the article that you should use for documents. Okay, it can be, we will discuss that later. Okay, whether what is the art, it can be there, the, thus, them, thus, blah blah blah. But in between, you also have necessary. You also have to use an adjective ending for the necessary. Whatever that. Let's say it's whatever it is. But what will be the? You have to use the correct ending for the adjective. What will be the ending for the adjective over here? For that, you have to answer two questions. It is which case, like nominative, accusative, dative, genitive, and the second one, whether it is masculine, feminine, plural, or neutrum. But
it is accusative, subject plus object plus verb.
it is accusative. What is the adjective ending?
Adjective ending. Um,
Rishi, do you remember
was
rules? I told you very clearly there are just 5 to 6 rules.
For plural and for plural, it's en at the end.
Yeah, it's En. You should.
For
It's En. Let me go through it very quickly, guys, because you should know this. I apologize. You-
plural and genitive, it's en.
Mm, Yeah. So let's go through it once very quickly now, because this is very important. If you don't know this by now, that means uh, there is something wrong in the way that I'm doing, or you're not doing the homework. Let
Oh,
me go through the adjective ending part. So plural dative genitive it is N, feminine A, right? Masculine accusative N. Where is it?
slide to 16.
This is not A2. This I have to use the one from B1.
Oh, no, that should be in A1 or A2. I have attended that
Yeah,
class
but I also
days.
discussed with even yesterday some guys from B1. This is very important, guys. It's very easy to. I mean, if you don't learn this now, you may spend months, years in Germany, and you will keep coming back to this problem. Okay. Yeah. Pay attention, okay? Learn this once and now. You don't have to watch any other video. So let's start with the adjective ending, okay? So this table is for definite articles, bestimmte article. This is for negations and possessive article, kein, keiner, mein, dein, blah, blah. This one is for indefinite or unbestimmte article, ein, einer. This table is for where there is no article being used, okay? We'll ignore this for now. We'll focus on these three tables. So masculine accusative. Okay, remember this. Masculine accusative, it is N. How do you remember this? What is the definite masculine accusative article? Then, right? So there is nominative masculine. Masculine accusative will be N. Then. So remember this, it is N. Okay, masculine accusative. Then what about dative, genitive, or plural? The moment you see, a specific noun, either it is plural or it is in dative case or genitive case, the biggest hint is plural, and documents was in plural. That was supposed to be your biggest hint. The ending is N. Okay. So technically, if you want to remember all these tables, you have 4 times 4, 16, 16 times 3, 48. So you are supposed to remember 48 rules. But if by using just two rules, you were able to figure more than 35 of them. Just using two rules. So masculine accusative N, plural dative genitive N. Then let's come to this part, feminine. It's even easier. It's A. Okay. It's A. Again, don't say, okay, why, feminine, if it is dative, it is A. No, so you have to think, you should think in this order in your head. So first think whether it is masculine accusative N. Then think, okay, if it is not masculine accusative, whether it is plural dative or genitive, yes, then N. If it is not even plural dative or genitive, then check whether it is feminine. If it is feminine, then the adjective ending is A. Now this is, just three rules, and we figured out most of them. Now we have just three more rules to remember. Let's talk about masculine nominative. What is the masculine nominative article, definite one?
there.
There. Now, the situation you have to think like this, okay? So this is how you should think. Again, there are different ways to remember this, but think like this. So what I'm saying is that, so, so this is, so you are, you should remember this rule because you want to find the adjective ending in this scenario, right? Where the article before it is there, okay. Now, okay, one second, okay, think very carefully. We are focusing on this part first of all, okay, only for best named article. So in this scenario, there will already be there, okay. So the sound of air is already there, right? So you don't need to, the adjective need not end with air again, so it will only end with E. See what I'm saying? So I'm saying that when you have this scenario, bestimmte article, masculine nominative, and we are trying to figure out what is the adjective ending for this, the sound of air is already there in the actual article. So the adjective ending need not end with air. It can just end with A. Okay. And for these two, negations article, possessive article, unbestimmte article, Tell me what is unbestimmte Artikel, masculine nominative? What is it? What is the article?
Ein.
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 If it's ein, okay, if it is ein, then the sound of, let me just push this up a bit. So the sound of air is not there, right? The sound of air is no more there in the article. Then here the adjective should end with air. Okay, so the sound of air was not there. Okay, and even for what is Negationsartikel, masculine nominative?
Kein.
Kind, right? Even here the sound of air is not there. So you still have to make the adjective ending sound like air. Possessive article, right? Mine, thine, it will, the sound of air is not there. So the adjective has to end with air. If the sound is already there, then it need not end with it. It can just end with a. This is how you remember this. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, so you have air. Okay, so here and here you have air. Here you don't need to say air. Okay, then let's talk about only this one is left, right? Neutron. Here also you can use the same logic. What will, if there was an article, let's forget that we are talking about adjective endings. What would be the article over here? What is neutron article for nominative accusative? What is over here? Bestimmt article. What is the
There.
article?
Das.
Das. So the sound
Das.
of sir is already there, right? And what is the negations article over here? Come on.
Kein.
Here.
Kein.
It is kind here.
Kein.
Also kind.
Kein.
It does not change. Only masculine changes. So the sound of S is not there. Okay. That means we have to make the adjective ending sound like S. Here as well, right? Here the sound of S will not be there in the article. So we have to make the adjective ending sound like S. So here it will be S. S. Here the sound of S is there in the article itself. So we don't have to make the adjective sound like S. We can just make it sound like A. Is it clear? Please ask questions if you want me to repeat anything. Feel free to ask. Okay, don't hesitate. Just because I'm. Okay, let's talk about this table. It's even easier to remember this table. All you have to remember is you have to remember what is the ending of the article. So to find the ending of the adjective, you have to think what is the ending of the article itself. Let's say if I'm asking you for an article over here, what is the article over here? Definite article, sorry. Definite article.
Der.
There, here,
Die.
here,
Das.
Das.
here.
Die.
Die.
Here the ending is air, here the ending is A, here S, here it is A. You
Ja.
remember that,
Ja.
then you will remember this. Air, A, S, A.
Das.
Okay.
Okay.
Now don't bother me with the question. I mean this in a funny way. That don't tell me, okay, it was us and you made it S. I hope you know the trick that we are using, right? So
Okay.
here
Ja.
it's they and
Then.
okay. It's easy to remember. And dative as well. Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
while looking at the table, it is like we can get it easily, but
Yeah, I know. I know. I know. I think in the last session I discussed, right? I know that in split second you have to think of all the rules. So you have to
yeah.
practice, and you have to practice sentences from your daily life. Start journaling. Divide your day into 32 parts. And each part is will be of half an hour, and try to write everything that happens in that half an hour. Think that someday you will become very rich guy, and if somebody is coming to ask for your biography, what did you do in that? When you were learning German, so you can just
Okay.
and then try to write that divide your day into 30 so this is how you can do this. Is actually this is what coaches tell you, right? If you join some coaching institute, they will tell you this. So and let's say you start day from 7 to 7:30. Okay, you don't need to write. You can also choose a specific meeting of let's say you every day you have a daily meeting, the scrum daily meeting from let's say for 2 to Okay, normally it should be only 15 minutes, but some people also break the rules and make it for half an hour. Just think what all happens in that meeting. Okay, right. And let's say if you write one sentence for every minute, again, I don't think you will be able to write one sentence for every minute. Then you will have 60 sentences, right? Okay. Then try to
Yeah.
write these 60 sentences in German. Okay.
Okay.
And then you see, then it will much become easier. Okay. Also, this is again, this is what coaches will tell you. They will tell you that, we as humans don't remember nouns. We remember entire sentences. You know what I'm trying to say? So when you are talking, right, just think, for example, now when I'm saying something, I'm not thinking much. The entire sentences are coming out of my head. I'm not actually making them in my head. And because I have said this somewhere else, I can say it again and again over here. For example, when you go to a restaurant, you don't think that what you're going to say, right? The entire sentence is just there in your head because you have said this the last time you went to a restaurant. Okay, so the idea is that you practice, you simulate your daily life already, before you actually have to say that, and then the entire sentence just comes out of your head. For example, guten tag,
Okay.
you just know it. You don't ask why it is, why it is guten tag and why it is not guten nacht. Okay,
Yeah.
you have said this, but if you really have to look at the grammar, let's look at the grammar. I'm sorry for digressing from the topic. You can ask. So the
No,
entire
it's okay.
I believe it is Ich wünsche dir einen guten Tag.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So Ich wünsche, I wish. You wish what? You are wishing a good day. So Tag is their Tag. So it is einen. Now you are using the adjective gut. And check the
Mm.
adjective ending for masculine, accusative, unbestimmte Artikel. It is n.
Mm.
Okay. I mean, this is a very not a very good example, but you have said guten tag so many times that it is guten tag, right? It's
Yeah.
a tag.
Yeah. Yeah. But the tag, so it is
Yeah,
guten Tag.
yeah. Let's say if this is nacht, right? So nacht is die nacht, we know that.
Dina, so it is gute Nacht.
Eine, and here it is gute nacht. Let's go for I wish you a good weekend. Okay,
Okananda, the Okananda, so it
Wochenende is
is.
das Wochenende. Okay,
That's so current.
yeah. So you say schönes Wochenende. You say that ich wünsche dir schönes
Yeah,
Wochenende.
Shones Okananda.
So it's you go for schon,
Sureness.
right? Check das without article. What is the adjective? So it is accusative. So we're looking at this row, and neutrum s schönes. But
Yeah.
again, even though you did not know the grammar, you said it. Ich wünsche schönes Wochenende.
Yeah.
So right. Uh, for example, we get es dia.
Yes. Yeah.
Why is it dia? Why is it not dish? Because the sentence es geht, the
Yeah.
direct
Good.
object will be, just es geht gut, schlecht, right?
Yeah.
Then you have to provide, like it is going good or bad for whom. Then you say es geht mir,
Hmm.
right? But what I'm trying to say, so guys, I understand. Like you cannot think. What I'm trying to say is that I have to think of better ways to say. This is so when you speak.
Yeah, I understand. There is a in reason, inbuilt reason or inbuilt grammar in every sentence we
Yes,
phrase.
so you just, and you just say it again and again, and this is also one, yeah, yeah. And one more
So
thing we
that you
will
get
do.
used to it.
Sorry, go ahead.
So that you get used to it.
Yeah, yeah, you have to get used to it, right? For example, uh, if you, I mean, I'm not saying my Spanish is very good, but if you give me a book, I will be able to tell you what it means, because
Yeah.
there was a point where I was doing Spanish and I mugged up all the vocabulary that I could. But if you ask me to speak, I will not be able to speak because I have no practice.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that try to practice, just, and if you can, I say, that I say that, that advice from, that fancy name practical German teacher. It just tells you that if you can just talk about your day, from the time you wake up till the time you go to sleep, then you are good. Your German is good enough. you know if you do that, and it will take some time, it will take 4 to 6 months. You divide, you start from 7 to 7:30, or you can start from the most important part of your day where you actually have to speak German, meeting, or up every meeting that you have with your boss, or every conversations that you have with the secretary at the office, and just think what you're going to say over there. Okay, so I think that's enough motivation or demotivation. Let's go back to, but the reason we came back over here, because the moment you saw plural, you saw documenta, in your head it should have clicked, it is n.
Yeah, I was stuck up with the, so it
Okay.
is going. So it takes some time to
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, but okay, yeah. Just don't take too much time, because the reason I'm saying is that people keep learning, and after 6 7 years, then it's awkward, because they don't want, then there is a new guy who is here only since 2 years, and he or she can speak fluent German because he was just consistent, and now your ego comes into your, I don't want to learn German. I have been here for 7 years, so do it as soon as you can. Let's continue with the exercise. Where is it? A2. Yes. So, how do you say necessary? Come on. If you don't,
Notish.
nötig or notwendig. Okay.
Notwendig is like important, right?
Yeah, but like, I mean, you are not wrong, but people say one thing, they mean something else, right? Sometimes you say I believe, but you are actually saying I think, right? So you can use them interchangeably. Okay. So
Okay.
for me, I normally say erforderlich, like when I mean necessary. So notwendig is something like, it's not it's needed for sure. It's not going to happen without it. It's in my head.
Mandatory.
Okay. Nötig I never use, because it sounds, I mean, I'm always afraid. I will tell you why I don't use it. Because I speak very fast, and there is this word. I don't exactly know what is the German word. It's noti, and it's something like, it's not a good word. And I think sometimes when I say nötig, I say it like, so I don't say the G part, and this is a bad word. Not a bad word, but I mean, some people think it's a bad word. You can check later. I don't know if the spelling was correct. Uh, I mean, I have my own reasons not to say that word. So this one again, but let's go back. So du musst das Formular ausfüllen und die erforderlichen, plural, doesn't matter, accusative, dative. The moment you see plural, dative, plural, go with the ending n. Okay, Dokumente einreichen. Next one, please. If you have tried calling Ausländerbehörde in your city, you can relate. Okay, how do you say I'm calling them? This should be obvious.
Ich rufe,
Ich rufe sie an.
Z on, correct. Small z, capital Z, small z,
Small.
small, right? Next one.
Aber sie. Pick up.
It means none of you are watching any movies in German, right? Okay. Okay, so again,
Yeah, correct.
it's difficult to explain the grammar, but you should know it. Again, I never learned this in a classroom. I know it because I saw it in many movies. Sie gehen nicht daran. What is daran? Let me tell you where this comes from.
Da plus an.
Yeah, but so it literally means he's not going, right? He's not going on it.
Going
Literally,
on
it
to
means,
that. Yeah.
but she is not going, but they are not going on it. But where does this come from? If you really want to know the meaning, it's actually an apparatus gehen. So like you go to the, like, apparatus is a phone. A phone is an apparatus. Like it comes from there. Before, I mean, maybe I'm making this up, but this way. So There is a phone lying in your room and it's ringing, but you are not going to the phone, right? So you are it's something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But so it's like, and I'm not saying, aber sie geht an dem Handy nicht an, but instead of saying an dem Handy, I just say daran. Okay. And why R? Because we know that because an is A is a vowel, and when you have vowel, you have to add the sound of R. Uh, is it clear what I just said? Why R over here? Please
Yeah,
ask.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
To make it easy to pronounce.
yeah. So you could have also said I'm calling them, aber sie antworten nicht. No, that also makes sense. But if you want to say they don't pick up, you will have to say, aber sie gehen nicht daran. But you can also say, right, aber sie antworten nicht. Yeah, this one. Again, this all of these are from, I believe, I mean, these are all from visa up to, whenever you apply for Schengen visa or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, how do you say you must provide something? Think what was the verb that you used for submit? You can use it here as well, right? No one is coming to cut your marks. So
The most the
how do you? What is the? Okay, so listed is an adjective. So it's actually gelisted. Okay,
Gelirenden, something like that.
no
Yeah,
gelisted, gelisted.
Gelistet.
Yeah, what is the adjective ending? Come on. Plural.
Gelisteten.
Yeah, gelisteten, right?
The
So
Gelisteten.
give the entire sentence in one go, please. Du musst die
Uh,
gelisteten
there is
Dokumente.
some word for document. Unterlagen.
You can also use
Can
Unterlagen.
we?
Yeah. For example,
Yeah.
whenever someone says, application documents, I think it should be Bewerbungsunterlagen, but you can also say Bewerbungsdokumente. But normally it should be Bewerbungsunterlagen. But the entire sentence, please.
Du musst die Gelistesten Dokumenten provide zugeben
Now, zugeben means something else. Zugeben means
oder übergeben.
übergeben means to vomit.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we are
There is
doing
some uh, verb literally similar to hand over, to give over,
abgeben,
abgeben.
okay. Let's talk about geben, right? So you have geben.
Yeah, you had shared
Yeah.
one PDF in group.
Yeah. So, but let's discuss
I
it
remember.
right? Abgeben, nachgeben, zugeben. Okay, you know what? How you should learn this, right? You should. I don't know if you did this in school or somewhere. We used to have fish diagrams, or or star diagrams, where in the center you will have the verb, and then you should write geben and then draw. Okay, abgeben, zugeben, nachgeben. You should draw it in your head. And you should do it in the first 6 months of your learning Java. So you take one verb and just look how many different ways I can use the same verb. So you can go for einreichen. Einreichen will be enough.
Okay.
But the next one,
Du musst die
gelistet,
enlisteten,
gelistet and Dokumente einreichen. Go for the next one.
gelisteten. Okay. While die Behörde,
Yeah, but plural,
die Behörden,
Behörden.
yeah, die Behörden.
And it is das Behörde, I believe, not die Behörde, but okay. Yeah, go ahead. But if
Okay,
you go with
anyway, it's
plural,
plural.
yeah,
So
plural with
the
five is easier. Yeah. think it is the beholder. You were correct. It was the beholder. Okay. How do you say need?
Need.
Come on, it's obvious. I need €2. I need this session. I need a
Broken.
laptop. Broken.
Broken.
Yeah.
Broken Z.
Yeah. But
Uh,
come on, you are
but
using while.
broken will go to last.
Yes.
While the beholden. Z. Pure. The
You can go with this one. I don't mind.
for the assessment. Uh, uh, Broken.
Correct. But I
Prefer.
went with Dane. So, then the verb did need not be at the last. You know what I'm saying? I went with
Then.
Dane. So it did not be at the last position, but you used while. So broken will be at the last position.
Okay.
Okay. Next one. You need this for Schengen visa.
The broken. Nicht nur eine travel.
What is insurance?
Travel. Versicherung. Die
Versicherung.
Versicherung.
Okay, let's go with Versicherung. And you have to make. And what is health?
Health Krankenversicherung.
What is travel?
Reisen. Reisen
This is
Krankenversicherung.
the verb. Die Reise.
Reisen oder Reise? Die Reise für Krankenversicherung. Ja.
Yeah. You should force yourself.
Sie,
You should force your brain to come up with a quick answer.
Sie brauchen nicht alleine.
No, don't say align. Why are you
Okay.
complicating? Just go with no.
Okay.
No?
Nicht nur eine Reise Krankenversicherung. Außerdem,
Why also them? It is but.
in addition to that.
But okay, go
Okay.
with also them. Also them will be then it is a next sentence, right?
Okay.
So here just go.
Aber,
Yeah,
aber auch
yeah.
einen Bescheinigung über accommodation.
We talked about genitive, right? So
Ihren,
confirmation of accommodation. Go for
wo,
genitive, right?
okay. Aber einen, no, aber eine Wohnungsbescheinigung
Wohnungs, there is no word as
oder
something called as Wohnungsbescheinigung.
Wohnraumbescheinigung.
But here I was going for something else. I want you to use genitive. So what is confirmation?
Bescheinigung.
Nah, it's not Bescheinigung. Bescheinigung is a proof. Confirmation is something else. When you apply for
Bestätigung.
no,
Something
okay, you should know this. Why you should know this? Because you must have received an email from the Ausländer Behörde or welcome center whenever you apply for an appointment. They send something. They send you a confirmation of your email.
Yeah, that
What do they
means
call?
your termin is bestätigst.
No, but the
Something.
email starts with B. Manta, do you know this
Be,
word?
be, Bemeldung.
No, not Bemeldung. It's Bestätigung.
Oh,
How do you say accommodation?
sorry, I couldn't hear well.
Accommodation. How do you say accommodation?
Bestätigung.
Yeah, Bestätigung, correct. Accommodation.
Accommodation.
Okay, forget about accommodation. What will be the genitive? How do you say confirmation? Confirmation, blah blah accommodation. What is blah blah over here?
Des oder der,
Yeah, right. That's if it is neutrum or feminine, masculine. There, if it is
masculine
feminine or plural. So here
or
is the
plural.
answer.
Yeah.
And I went with aber Sonden, and I went with Zonden and not aber because it is like not not but all. So whenever it is like So here you can use aber, but sonden will be more accurate, right? So sonden
Mm.
is something like, I hope you know what it means. Yeah.
Yeah, so more of it means addition and not
Not addition, it means
contrast.
rather or instead. You don't need so here, even though in English I wrote but what I'm trying to say is that you don't need a travel health insurance, rather a confirmation of your accommodation. But again, you can also go with aber, no problem, but I will go with Zonden.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Unterkunft. Next one, please. They send your after the stamping of the passport. You can choose whether they send it to your home or you go and collect it from the VFS office.
Sie können das abholen oder, or we can use a word for otherwise. Oder,
No, you don't need to
wir,
go. Just go with order. Yeah.
yeah, oder wir send.
Future tense. What verb do you need when you are talking about future tense? Come on. We had an entire session on this. Werden.
Wir werden das.
So you don't know this how to say
Wir
via.
post.
Normally you go with per. So per post, per Teams, per email, per telephone. Go with per. PAR.
Per, okay. Uh, per the post. Per post. Chicken.
Yeah. Guys, please ask questions. We have only 1 minute left. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you learned something. And yeah, we will have one last session. Yeah, I think day after tomorrow. You will still learn something new. Don't miss it. I mean, you can miss out on up to you, but I will request you to join. Yeah, because there I will also give you some tips how you can continue learning German after the sessions.